Hi, everyone, and welcome to URG's Webinar Wednesday. We are recording this session. We had a little bit of technical difficulties yesterday, so we are recording this, and we have DJ Harrington here with us. We have the honor of having him present today. Thank you so much for presenting for us today, DJ, and I'm going to pass it off to you.
Amanda, thank you very much. And guys, thank you for being patient. Yesterday was a real disaster. So we start anew. I'm presenting from my home. I'm like yourself. I'm presenting from my home in Woodstock, Georgia. And this is a presentation that we're going to go through. And as Amanda, if you put up the first set of slides, I have something smack in the middle. Amanda and I are going to share with you a special video that was presented and made in the basement of my home. I'm in my home here, and this is the office. We tried yesterday making it out of the music room, and it didn't work well. But we have a special for you that in the middle of this webinar, put on by URG, you're going to go into my basement. My basement is a 50s diner, and there's a 1957 Thunderbird, and it's on Jeff Gordon Road, and you'll see Gordon Road on the side of it. But I make a special presentation. When we're done with this, if you just want that 6 minutes from my basement, that was already pre-filmed, all you got to do is ask Amanda, and Amanda's email is amorrison, MORRISON, @u-r-g.com, or myself, DJ, at djsays.com, and we'll be happy to send it to you. Now, why I told Amanda and URG that I'd be happy to do this, I have written for magazines here, and I'm going to show you. Power Source magazine, I've written for them for over 30 years. And they're a real part of the success of why this year I got the Lifetime Achievement Award from ARA, which is great. I write for Recore magazine. Now, Recore, if you're in the Northeast, they get the magazine in Connecticut and all in that area, Rhode Island and Massachusetts. But Recore has people in it, like Jim Counts writes every month. This month, Chad Councilman did an article. And then I'm in this month. But also you have Ron Sturgis, who's been around forever. He's like the Donald Trump of recycling. And Mike French from the Toolbox magazine. I wanted, and Amanda asked, can we have a positive thing instead of what are you going to do or who's going out of business and some of the negative thoughts. I want to share with you that URG does webinars. Like Amanda said, it's Webinar Wednesday with URG. They have archived the articles and the webinars. I want you to know, yes, I think one of the best ones I saw was Chad Counts. It was excellent. You just go on to URG, look down what they archived. Mike Conkle did one. Fantastic job. Rob Rainwater did one. Lee Workman did one. Don Porter did one. There's a bunch of them there. As you are staying at home, this is the time that you improve your own skills. You want to earn more? Learn more. And now you have the time available to you. Just like Mike French's article in Toolbox. He says, this is the time you need to refresh, paint that office that you said you're always going to repaint. This is the time to fix that rack that you said 2 months ago you're going to do the rack. But this is the time to do these things. So my effort to you is everyone's doing this. Even my dear friends at Carpart, every Wednesday at 11 o'clock, they do a webinar. And if you want to learn more, go on Carpart and you'll see it. Every Wednesday, 11 o'clock, they have one. So I'll put all this down. And even magazines. This is the time, if you haven't been reading your automotive recycling magazine, you should be. All right, now, watch your negative thoughts. This is very important, and I have to share with you right up front. I'm in Atlanta, suburb of Atlanta. The very famous Fox Theater that was built in 1929. Gone with the Wind played there. That was the premiere there. On their marquee, it says in gigantic bold letters, this today is an intermission. It's an intermission, folks. We are coming out to a new normal. This virus can't get the best of you. So you got to watch your thoughts. and you got to watch negative thinking. Negative news spreads so fast, and negative thinking is all over the place. Negative thinking is contagious. You know, it's like people that says, I can't stay at home and teach my kids and get going. Yeah, you can. And don't say things like, I hope this works out. It will, it will. Your words become your reality. Your words are like seeds that you plant for your future. Your tongue is like a rudder on a ship, and it steers your direction. And you say things that you wish you never said. Negative talk, if you say negative things, expect a negative result. If you speak positive, then you're going to have a positive life. Negative words bring defeat. Negative talk is always negative results. Now, I killed that enough. The 80-20 rule, to remind all of you, 80% of the people are negative. 20% are going to think positive things. I want you to be one of the part of the 20%ers. And don't have weak thoughts. Don't make verbiage, you know, your verbiage thoughts. And don't words trap you. It's like people say things like, oh, I don't have a good memory. I don't have a good memory for names. Well, guess what? They don't. But if you say you have a good memory for names, you will. And then I use, and I don't know if you could see these are my pacifiers that I tell people, are you a whiner? And all they are is pacifiers you can get at the dollar store. Think bold thoughts. All right, Amanda, if you would hit the next slide, we got 2 of them. In the back of all my books is Prescription for Life. Watch your words, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it'll become your destiny. And then hit the next one, because I loved what URG had put out, so I put one out for myself. Life's too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. So, love the people who treat you right. Forget about the ones who don't. Believe that everything happens for a reason. If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it, like this virus. Nobody will say it was going to be easy. They just promise it'll be worth it. And I'm going to tell you, if you spend your time appropriately during these periods of time, it'll be worth it. I have my little red phone here to remind me to remind you. This is a time you got a little extra time on the phone when people are calling in for parts. Say things like, hey, Fred, when is your birthday? May 7th. Oh, Fred, you're married, right? Yes. How many kids? 3 kids. When's your wedding anniversary? February 26th. Gotcha. Now, I want all of you to know, I put it right into the memo section of their account. And I actually bring it back up. So 2 days before his anniversary, so on the 24th of February, I'm actually going to call Fred and say, Fred, DJ, I'm not calling about any parts. I'm calling to remind you that 2 days from now is your anniversary. He goes on the other end. Holy moly, I totally forgot. DJ, thank you. And on May 7th, I'm the guy who calls him and says, hey, Fred, happy birthday. Fred will tell you, isn't it funny? Here you are calling and wishing me happy birthday, and members of my own family don't. There's the difference. Now, what we're going to do, and I believe the next one is going to be our video, Amanda. So what I wanted to remind everybody, look at the video, and if you want to use this for one of your sales meetings, all you got to do is contact URG or contact myself, and it becomes part of your arsenal to play for your people, especially those away working from home. All right, Amanda, hit the video if you could.
The bird jukebox behind me. Let's start. Life as we know it has come to a screeching halt because of the invisible threat. We can't see it, but we surely can see the effects it has done to us. Thousands of people have been infected and thousands have lost their battle against it. As if they haven't already been involved enough in what we do, our state and local authorities have said that we must change the way we live, and interact with others. As human beings who thrive on socializing with families, friends, neighbors,
Oops.
and church members, and co-workers, they've asked us to listen and follow their guidelines. Businesses, churches, schools, and events have been closed or canceled. As I walk my dog, the usual steady stream of cars once heard on the road is quite minimal and almost eerie at night. There's danger and opportunity happening at the same time. No doubt. Like you, I'm wondering if things will ever get back to normal. As I watched a family of three walk past my house, I saw it. A beautiful butterfly flew past the window, and I remember a terrific story of one such butterfly. The butterfly is a powerful symbol of change. More importantly, for self-transformation. That butterfly begins as a meager caterpillar, pushing the front half of his body forward while the back end follows. The caterpillar embarks on an incredible journey where through the process, it transforms into a beautiful butterfly. Seeing that butterfly reminded me of a story I've told many times at different conventions across this great land. And since those conventions have been canceled or postponed, I'm going to do it now. It's a story about a young boy who finds a caterpillar in his backyard. Excited about it, he asks his mom if he can keep it. She says yes, if he takes care of it. She gives him a jar, which he promptly fills with a branch and lots of leaves. One day, the caterpillar climbs the branch and starts spinning a cocoon. The boy checks on the cocoon a couple times a day, watching it carefully for any sign of change. Then one day, he sees a tiny crack through the small opening. He can see the caterpillar struggling to get out. This young boy watches, anxious to see the butterfly emerge, but became impatient and found a pair of scissors. He cut a hole bigger, helping the butterfly to come out easier. The problem is, the butterfly doesn't look exactly like a butterfly. Its body has been swollen, and its wings are now shriveled. The boy waits, thinking it will transform, but it stays the same. Now, crying, the boy takes the jar to his mom, not really understanding why it did not transform into a butterfly like he thought it would. His mother then explains that the butterfly needed to push through the cocoon on its own. The struggle of transformation forces the fluid out of the body into the wings. The wings become stronger. By cutting the hole in the cocoon, the young boy took away the important struggle the butterfly needed to emerge correctly. Right now, all of us are in the metaphorical cocoon, safe and secure in our homes or apartments within our own cocoon. We face our own struggles, whether loss of income, stress, depression, or sickness. Through struggles comes strength, and with challenges come change. That last line came from my daughter just last night. My wife told me that living with me in this big house is like being in a cocoon, and I need to stop feeding my fear of the future, doubts, or regrets. She also told me to think about the opportunities that lie ahead because the thinking that got us here is not the same thinking that is going to get us where we need to go. Even though I start saying this quote years ago to companies like you that I've trained, it still applies today. You can't do today's business with yesterday's thinking and hope to be ahead tomorrow. Americans probably won't do business like we've done before because the marketplace has changed and we need to change with it. This pandemic is forcing us to change our lives like we've never done before. Let's be like the butterfly, making changes as they come so we can take off. Our attitude and activities will make all the difference in the world as you see we emerge from this threat. I hope this finds you and your loved ones well. I always want to help you become a better you. Remember, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you choose to respond. My friends, stay safe and healthy, and let's get this through together. Thanks for listening. And from my home here in Woodstock, Georgia, this is DJ Harrington.
Now, Amanda, that was good. Thank you so much. And I want all of you to know, in next month's magazine, now this month's magazine, which we all got from Toolbox, there is a section, all the speakers that were at the URG speaking that got canceled, the convention, the 2020 URG speakers platform that got canceled up in St. Louis because of the virus. All of the speakers are in here, but Mike French has put together a virtual presentation. So you could see parts of URG on there, and you could see myself on there 2 different times. So please take a look at that. Now, why make an ICANN? Let me show you what an ICANN is. This is what it looks like. This is a regular can, and I bought the googly eyes from Walmart. You can buy them at Walmart, Michael's, the dollar store. $1, you can do about 30 cans. The last 4 letters of the word American, ICAN, I can. I want you to have an I can attitude. I can get through this. I can sell more parts. I can get out of this cocoon with stronger wings because we work together. This is a time. One guy showed up at one of the car part conventions. This is a can a guy gave me. And I said, what kind of can is this? He said, tuna fish came in it. It's a small little can. Then he took out his change. And here's what he said. Every evening, he took his change out, dropped it in the can, and said, I too can change. I started thinking about this and thought, holy moly, what a big deal. It makes a lot of sense. Oh, by the way, now that I'm looking at this penny, do you know that if you took your coins during this period of time, this 2019 penny, if it has a W on the date, it's worth $20.47, just in case. So I want you to know that you guys that save your coins, if you have any S or W, send them to me. I'll give you more than the worth of the nickel. Your thoughts limit yourself. That's why I want to make sure. Watch your thinking. It controls your thoughts. You want a new way? Start thinking properly. The virus is not going to get us. Wake up and power up. When you get up, make sure you power up. And don't listen to negative people. Now, I put that down, and I want to share something with you. I put down Michael Jordan, famous basketball player from the Bulls. His high school coach told him to play baseball and run track. He could never play basketball. Thank God he didn't listen to his high school coach. Shaquille O'Neal, we all know as Shaq, does all these commercials. His coach at LSU, now at LSU, outside the stadium is a gigantic 7'1". That's how tall he is. The statue is bigger. Has a statue of Shaq. I want you to know, Dale Brown was the coach. Dale Brown went to speak at a military base that Shaq's father was in. Shaq's dad told him, wake up, you're going to go hear a coach today. So he's sitting with his dad in the back of the room. Dale Brown says to him, how long you been in the military? And Shaq goes, military? I'm not in the military. I'm in high school. High school? What year are you? He said, I'm a sophomore. He said, holy moly. He was 7'1" and about 300 pounds. And Dale Brown said to him, are you playing any sports? And he said, no, they think I'm too big. I want to play basketball, but they think I'm too big to go up and down the court. So they won't even let me try out. So I want all of you to know, thank God Dale Brown said, well, I know a good college you can go to in 2 years. After you get out of sophomore year, you can, when you're a senior, you come see me. And sure enough, Dale Brown kept in touch with him. And of course, he's led, and he was the number one draft in 1992. The other, put Colonel Sanders down. Colonel Sanders is 65, got his first Social Security check, could not handle it, and started going up and down the streets of Kentucky and Indiana, selling the recipe for 4 cents for a chicken bone and parts of it. And then for a breast, it was 5 cents. renting his recipe out. And then 6,000 restaurants later, that you know that story. I put it down because Colonel Sanders many nights slept in his back of his car while he was out trying to sell the recipes to other restaurants. Steve Harvey, 1985, had lived 3 years in his own car. 3 years, Steve Harvey. In grade school, the teacher asked him, what do you want to be? And he said, I want to be on television. I want all of you to know Steve Harvey had a terrible stutterer. Terrible. He couldn't even finish the sentence when the teacher asked him what he wanted to be. He started trying to talk and he stuttered half the time. And today we all know Steve Harvey. He even did in 2020, he was the one in Madison Square Garden, New York, letting the Big Apple fall. He was the MC. Great guy. Great comedian. Speech impediment. I have a brother, John, had 81 scholarships to college. One of my neighbors, Mr. Caton, said to me, DJ, you will never, ever be like your brother. You know why? I'm one of 12 children, and I was born with a speech impediment. And look what I do for a living. Thank God I didn't listen to Mr. Caton tell me how seriously. You know what he said to me? The best job you'll ever be is a custodian at the local high school. He was my neighbor. Thank God I didn't listen to him. Think power thoughts and have an I can attitude. Now, there's a couple more things. If you could, Amanda, hit the next one up. There's 1 to 2 more things I want to do before I get out of here. This one I want to do, and just before I do fear, I want to do something else. What do you tell, and here's the thing, what do you tell when you're feeling discouraged? This is tough, but I'm tougher. I may not be able to control the situation, but I'm in charge of how I respond to the situation. I haven't figured this out yet. Of course not. None of us have. This challenge is here to teach me something. It's like the cocoon. All I need to do is take it one step at a time. Breathe and do the next right thing. And doing the next right thing is important. One thing for me, I have a relative in New Jersey. I don't know if any of you realize, my family, Harrington, I am one of 12 children, but my family owns one of the largest construction companies in New Jersey, and we are the owners of Harrington Recycling. These are the big roll-off boxes that go into Manhattan. They do New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. Gigantic roll-off boxes for recycling. And they go every day out into New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. My family recently bought a recycling center, the largest in New Jersey. It's 80 acres. Copart offered to buy it, but my family doesn't want to sell it. They want to lease it. So if you know anybody who wants to lease a beautiful property in New Jersey, 80 acres, licensed, everything's licensed. When they first bought it, it had a 7-foot road going in, dirt road. Now, because they're a big construction company, it's an 18-foot wide. You can get 2 18-wheelers back and forth, paved. The whole thing looks beautiful, and I can send you pictures. All right, so that'll take care of my family situation. I also want to make sure you remember, out of all of this stuff, that you can go to URG archives. Somebody said, are you going to end with something funny? Yeah, before I end, I have to share this with you. I've told this story about spraying my hair on for years. And everybody said, and I just want you to know, here's the can. You're in my home. And this is Potpourri. This is, the guy who used to do it. And Ron Popeil, who did the spray on hair. Well, what happened? Barbara Utter will be a witness. I spoke for the Armed Convention up in Michigan. And Barbara Utter said, what happened here? I said, 5 months ago, I was here for Chrysler, same hotel where they were having their convention. And I said, 5 months ago, I had sprayed my hair upstairs on the 7th floor of this hotel. I went down to my rent-a-car to get the props out of my car. Now, I had just sprayed my hair. Snow was falling. Of course, I live in, here in Atlanta. There's no snow. So snow fell on my freshly rumpled head. I didn't realize. I went back into the convention center. I was speaking to almost 800 Chrysler employees. About 35 minutes into the meeting, The chandeliers proceeded to melt the snow, which in turn melted my hair. I didn't know it. Fourth row, this guy's going like this. Pss, 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 pss. So finally, I stopped, looked at this guy, and first I thought maybe my fly was down, but it wasn't. So I leaned over and I said, "Sir, what's the problem?" He says, "You have some black gook coming out of your ear." So I went like this, and I went, "Oh my God, my hair." I immediately take a break. I run to the restroom, and in the mirror, I can see myself. Now I look like Kiss. The stuff has come down my hair, black stuff down into my face. I had blue collar on, you know, those collar pins I wear, and I had a blue shirt. I was trying to look like Ayacuca. My neck looked like a zebra neck. It was terrible. There was no paper towels, and there was that blow dry machine for your hands. I'm genuflecting like a good Catholic against it, trying to dry my head off. Moral of the story: Romco hair doesn't work. So when you sit back and you go, what did we learn from this? I hope you understand that if you don't have a positive attitude, if you don't laugh at yourself for some of the stupid things we do, then Amanda, if you be kind enough, put the last one up here on fear. Now, my buddy Zig Ziglar always told all of us when we were much younger, fear was false evidence appearing real. Then he did a poster one time, and I have the poster here for you. FEAR has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is up to you. And I want all of you to, first of all, I thank you for being here. I hope it has motivated you. I hope you share it with your team so that it's going to be in the archive, so you go on and bring it down. It's short enough that even if you just use that 6-minute message in the middle, Amanda and I can get it to you. Just send it out to your people that are at home. Car Brain recently sent it to every one of their employees working from home. And I thank Marcine and all those people from Car Brain. My friends at Carpart, I hope they do the same. They send that small message out because all of us together are in this together, but we're apart. So to all your loved ones, be safe, be healthy. And when your state is released, let's all go back to work. Thank you very much.